what here inside there, that is what we get to call a cortex. Then this thing which is making a cross there, that thing is what we get to call a xylem. So it is a xylem. Then these to my bodies here, to my round thing here, this to my round thing is what we are calling a phloem. So this is a cross section of a dicot root. I guess you've seen the way it is. This is how you are supposed to draw it. Maybe you ask yourself, now in real life, how can I know that this is a dicot root? You need to understand that these ones get to have one of the reasons how to know. So I'll write a thing here, how to know. How to know. So how to know a what? How to know a dicot root. How to know a dicot root. So I'm going to write this. Point number one that you need to understand is that these ones get to have what we get to call thick what? Thick roots. They've got thick roots. So they get to have thick roots. Examples of these things we can talk of what? So e.g. when you look at the way beans is. So I can talk of beans, but the best example, let me just say a carrot. So when you talk about a carrot, have you seen the way those roots are? So example, carrot, beans. So these are just examples of these things, of a dicot root. You also need to understand that the way they are is that these ones grow deep into the soil. They do what? They grow deep. They grow deep into the what? Into the soil. So they get to grow deep into the soil. So these are points that will help you. So examples, a carrot is one of them, and beans. So the roots will tell you that, okay, a beans will contain a dicot root because it has got thick roots and it gets to grow deep into the soil. This is what you need to understand. So these ones, you just need to understand them like this. This is just a cross section that we need to know. So what are the function of these parts, especially this root air? So what is the function of a root air? What is the function of that? The function of a root air. So the function of a root air, you discover that it just gets to do what? It absorbs. So it absorbs nutrients. So this one gets to absorb nutrients and water. It gets to absorb nutrients and what? And water. Then these things are happening underground there. Then we've got what we get to call the epidermis. So let me do this. There is the epidermis there. What is the function of the epidermis? You discover that the epidermis gets to protect. So this one, it protects. So we are saying that it protects the roots. It protects the what? It protects the roots from water loss. From water loss, I would say from water loss and bacteria. So from water loss and bacteria, you are supposed to know and understand. So this is what I'm saying. The epidermis, the function is just to protect the roots from water loss and what? And bacteria, just like this. So we've got the root here, we've got the epidermis, we also have the cortex. So what is the function of the cortex? You discover that this one just gets to transport water and mineral and nutrients that are absorbed by the root air. So the function is just to do what? To transport. These ones They are going to do what? They are going to transport water. So we are saying that they transport water and the nutrients that are absorbed. So the nutrients, I'm saying nutrients absorbed by what? Absorbed by root hair. So these are three major parts that you are supposed to know. I talked about the phloem and xylem. Those ones I won't talk about them that much because I talked about them even as I was starting. We now move on to the other one. So this was just an introduction